What is going on, everyone? Leon checking in, and we're at it again with another episode. Now, today's content is an increased focus on Samsung, which brings us to how to optimize your battery with 3 tips. Now, the reason for this tutorial is some settings can be difficult to find. Now, in order for you to find the portion of the video you're most interested in, I've also included watermarks to identify each section. And for this tutorial, I'll be using my Samsung Galaxy Z Fold4. This is important to mention because if you are going to be using a different Samsung Galaxy device, what you see in this video may vary slightly for your device, but everything should be very similar. All things said, let's go ahead and get into it. So let's talk how to optimize our battery with 3 tips. Now, to start this tutorial off, we're going to pull down from the top of the display, and that's going to show our notification shade. And if you look in the top right hand corner, we're going to have a gear icon, and we're going to tap on that. Next, we're going to scroll down until we see device and battery care. This is going to be pretty far down the list, and then we're going to tap on the option. Now again, I am using the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold4, so you can see when I make these selections, we basically have a left and right side to the display here. I believe on a standard device, I call devices that don't fold standard devices. They're just one pane of glass. This would just refresh the page ideally. But here on the Z Fold4, we can see the original page and then the new page refreshed. Just a little thing I wanted to throw in there. So moving on, we have our device care on the right side of the display since we are using the Z Fold4. And you can see we are starting with our battery information. Now, you can see right below Optimize Now, we have the section that's titled Battery. We're just going to tap on that, and that's going to refresh this page. Next, we're going to scroll down to the bottom of the page until we see more battery settings. And this is why I do these tutorials, because these settings are really hidden deep within the settings. And I think that might frustrate people when it comes to Samsung devices. There's a lot of things to get worked up about when it comes to Samsung devices and the user interface. And I believe this is probably one of them. So we're going to tap on more battery settings. But generally, when it comes to these devices, they work really well. But this is a huge complaint of mine, is when you're looking for a specific setting, they really make you dive deep into your device. So here we are on the newly refreshed page, more battery settings. Now our first option is going to be adaptive battery. I'm going to read through this, and this option just states it extends battery life based on your phone usage. So this is our first setting that we can enable to help optimize our battery, and this is done by tapping on the slider until it's highlighted blue. And now we have our second option, which is going to be performance profile right underneath. And if we tap on this option, it's going to refresh the page, and we get a new page titled Performance Profile. So you have 2 profiles here. You have the standard, and then you have the light. We're going to read through these. So standard, it just says here, provides the recommended balance between processing speed, battery life, and cooling efficiency. And then underneath this, we have light, which states prioritizes battery life and cooling efficiency over processing speed. And just a disclaimer underneath all of this, we have this setting doesn't apply to games. You can manage game performance and game booster settings. Now, game booster settings is a feature that's available in Samsung's game launcher app. And I want to make sure that this applies to both the standard performance profile and the light performance profile. So I'm going to switch to light, and you can see that we still have this disclaimer underneath. So I believe it applies to both. That's nice to know because I do game on my Z Fold4, and you might want to game on your Samsung Galaxy device. And just have that peace of mind that game performance won't be affected. Very nice there. So for this tutorial, of course, we are going to select that light performance profile, and then we can back out of this page by tapping on the arrow for this side of the screen in the top left hand corner. And this brings us to the previous page, which also brings us to our third tip for optimizing battery, which will be at the bottom of this list, and it's going to be called Protect Battery. And we're going to cover this as well. It just states to extend the lifespan of your battery, limit the maximum charge to 85%. This feature is actually available on a lot of devices, so even if you are using a Samsung Galaxy device, you might find this on other brand devices. You might want to look into this because this might be a good idea. And to enable this feature, again, we're just going to tap on the slider until it turns blue. So that is it for today's episode on how to optimize battery on your Samsung Galaxy device with 3 tips. If you enjoyed this video and found it useful, please leave a like. If you're watching on YouTube and have any questions or comments, as always, drop those down below and I'll do my best to answer them. Now, there are 3 ways you can support the content. The first way is to click on the Amazon storefront link in the description below. There you'll find items that I have bought or would buy, and anything you buy from the storefront does support the content. The next way you can show your support is just by sharing this content with someone who might enjoy it or find it useful. And the last way you can show your support is just by clicking the subscribe button. Now, liking and subscribing are important because those are ways to vote on whether you like the content. Liking and subscribing are also important for new viewers and listeners. If new viewers and listeners see likes and subscribers, they're going to think that the content is helpful, worth watching, and listening to. And as always, thanks for watching and may the universe flow in your favor. And until next time, Leon checking out.
You